Hello everyone, I'm here to solve a Sudoku created by Bellsita. This Sudoku is called Nautilus. We thank the author for allowing us to make a video on the Sudoku. The link to solve this is in the description of the video. Without much further ado, let's start this Sudoku. It's a hybrid Sudoku variant. Normal classic rules apply. Each row, each column, and 3 by 3 box in the grid has digits from 1 to 9. Then you have entropic lines. So any set of 3 sequential cells along the orange entropic line must contain a low digit, a middle digit, and a high digit. Easy enough. So you can take any 3 cells. So for example, I'm taking these 3 cells, coloring them. One must be a low digit, which means it must be 1, 2, 3. The other must be a middle digit, 4, 5, or 6. The other must be a high digit, 7, 8, or 9. So there are only 3 categories. And these can be in any order. But just they have to satisfy the fact that any 3 cells must have 1 low digit, 1 middle digit, and 1 high digit. So for example, this could also be 1, 2, 3. This could be a 4, 5, 6. Oops. And that could be a 7, 8, 9. So you can switch this, but as long as 3 cells contain 1 from each type, it's perfectly fine. And you have xv coming into play. Digits separated by x must sum to 10, and digits separated by v must sum to 5. Not all x's and 5's are given. So for example, you could have let's say these 2 cells summing up to 10. There is no x between them, but they could sum to 10. And then you could also have something like this. These 2 cells summing up to 5. There is no 5 between them. Basically, the vice versa part is not applicable here. Kropki, cells separated by a white dot must be consecutive. Not all dots are given. So you can see that there is only one white dot here. So these 2 cells must be consecutive, and you can also have digits which are consecutive here. For example, 5 could be here and 6 could be here. There is no white dot between them. This is perfectly fine. So these are the rules. And before I start the Sudoku, please subscribe to the channel and become a patron of us. I would really be happy if you support us. So let's start the Sudoku now. Okay. So there are no given clues, as you can see here, just this orange line, like a memory line, a long line, and then there are some constraints. So the only way I can see on how to start this Sudoku is by differentiating this line and see where that takes us. So let's start from this end. So this cell and every third cell starting from that must be of the same type. Let's use that. Every third cell. Okay. So I hope I've marked that correctly. Let me color that first. Let's use maybe red. So every third cell, I'll just check if I've not made any error. Okay, every third cell is rightly marked. So, and now we know that these all must be of the same type. They are all high, they are all low, or they are all middle. Okay, so now we can use the same thing. The cells next to the red must all be of the same type. And these can be, let's say, blue. Let's use a blue here. And now the final left out cells must all be the same type. They all must be of the same type. Let's use maybe yellow. Okay. They are all of the same type. Now, how do we proceed in this Sudoku? Okay, I'm seeing that row 1 is almost filled with colors, just this one cell. So we can know what this cell's color is. It's not yellow because in any row, in any column or in any box, you will exactly have 3 reds, 3 blues and 3 yellows. So you have 3 yellows here and you also have 3 blues. So this must be a red. Easy. Is there any other row or column like that? Row 7. You have 3 blues here, but there are 2 cells which are yet to be decided. Oh, column 2. Look at column 2. So this cell can be deduced. It cannot be blue because you have 3 blues. It cannot be yellow. You have 3 yellows. So this must be a red. That's nice. And now we can say for sure that this is not 7, 8, 9. Excellent, guys. I'm already enjoying the Sudoku. So this can at max be 4. So it can only be 1, 2, 3 or 4. That's good. So this cannot be 2, 3, taking it one step further. So if it is 2 or 3, instantly the type of this red color gets established as 1, 2 and 3. It will be from that set. Now to satisfy this 5, we must have 2 and 3 again here, right? So that will break the Sudoku. So which means that this is not from the, not 2 and 3. So it can only be 1 and 4. And which means this will be 1 and 4. I don't think we can do much further there. Yeah. So let's look at rows or columns which would help us. So we have 3 reds here and 2 yellows. So 1 blue and 2 blues and 1 yellow is pending. Let's switch over to this box. So I have 3 yellows here, which means these cannot be 2 reds. It is either 1 red and 1 blue, or it could be 2 blues. Oh, both are possible. And but if it's 2 blues, the only possibility is by using 4 and 6. That would be interesting. Okay, I'm seeing something here. I have got 2 reds here, which means for row 3, if you look closely, yellows have been taken. We need 2 more reds and 1 more blue. So at max you can have 1 red here because you have 2 reds already. So 1 red would be at max in these 2 cells. And now the third red would have to be here. That is forced. And that's beautiful, guys. So we've got 3 reds here and 3 yellows here. So these must be 2 blues. And the only way to take 2 digits from the same type and still add them to 10 is by using 4 and 6. There is no other way. This is excellent, guys. What a break-in. Which means this will be 5. These would be 4, 6, really nice and excellent breaking to the Sudoku. And these would be 4, 6. Okay, since the blues are 4, 5, 6, the reds cannot be 4, 5, 6. So reds would have to be 1, 2 and 3. That is forced now. These are all 2 3s. Okay, and this red has to be 1, 2, 3, which means this will be 7, 8, 9. And we know that yellows must be 7, 8, and 9. So let's mark them yellow. And we also have 3 yellows in this row. That's something to remember. And let's try to use this dot here. So this is 1, 2, 3. And this will be 1, 2, and 3. Oh, we have a triplet in row 5. 1, 2, 3. Or in short, you have placed all the reds here, which means this cell will minimum be 4. This is nice. Okay, so the only way to satisfy this consecutive dot is by having a 3 here and a 4 here. There is no other way. The moment I have a 1 or a 2 here, I must have either 1, 2 or 3 here, and all 3 are not possible. So the only way to satisfy this is 3 and 4. And that instantly resolves this pair 4 and 6. And that 4 gives a 6 here, giving a 4 here. And in box 6, this must be a 5. That's a blue. And that's a blue. All the blues have been placed. In column 7, 6 can be placed. So that's a 6. That's a 5. And you have 4, 6 here. This cannot be 4, so that's a 6 and that's a 4. What a cool Sudoku, guys. Really superb. This will be a blue. This is a 5. And using Sudoku, we can place the 5 in row 8. This is yellow, okay. So you have 3 yellows here and red must be going here. So that's 1, 2, 3 and that's 7, 8 and 9. That would be yellow, okay. 3 yellows, this should be yellow. So what do we do? This 4 resolves that. That's a 6 and that's a 4. So this must be 5 or 6. This must be 4 and 5. This must be 4 and 5. It's clear to me that the yellows are going to get resolved at the very last. There's nothing to differentiate them. Okay, this is not a 3, that's 1 and 2. How do I proceed ahead now? You have 3 here, so this could have been placed. So that's a 2, that's a 1, that 2 gives me a 3, so which means this will be 1 and 2. And this is not a 1, that's 2, 3. That's not a 3, that's 1, 2, and that's 1 and 2. Oh, I have a 1, 2 pair in row 1. That's a 3. And you can place the 3 in box 3, that's a 3. And now you have 3 reds here. So this would have to be a 3. This is 1, 2. And that removes the 7 here. So the deduction seems to be flowing at this stage. So 1, 3. So this will be a 2. That is a 1. That is a 2. That's a 3. That's a 2. That becomes 1 now. So which means this will be 9. That gives a 2 here. And that allows us to place this red. That's a 1, which allows us to place this red. That's a 2. And this is not a 1 or a 2. So that's a 3. And that finishes off this. So that's a 7. So, okay. I think we can finish off yellows too. So this is 7, 8. Okay, 9 is not in column 8, so 9 has to be in these 2 cells. 7 is not in row 6, so 7 goes here and becomes an yellow. And these 2 cells must be 8, 9 now. And that forces this to be a 2, making it red. And column 8 can be filled. That has to be 8, only option. So these 2 are 7, 9. Let me remove this corner. Okay, these must be a 7, 9. That's an 8, 9. You can't have a 7 there, so that's 8, 9. Okay, look at this X. That's the only thing that is remaining as far as the constraints are concerned, apart from entropic lines. So it cannot be 2, 8. It cannot be 4, 6. So it's 1 and 9 or 3 and 7. So the only possible candidates must be this way: 1, 9 and 3, 7. Because you can't have 1, 3 there in row 5. So 1 and 3 or 7 and 9. So that becomes yellow and that becomes red. and this yellow cell must be 8 9. This yellow cell must be 8 9. I may be missing something very simple here, but let's see what I'm missing. 5 6 7 2. Okay, you have a 7 9 pair in yellow, so that must be 8. And this is 4 or 6, you can't have 5 there, and 4 is also eliminated, so that's a 6. 4 and 5, so that's a 6. So you must have 4 7 9 here. Okay, 7 and 9 are getting eliminated here, so that's a 4, that becomes a blue, and that 4 gives me a 5 here, that gives me a 4 here, and that does not give anything else. So column 4 can be completed now. 7 9, and those must take yellows by virtue of them being 7 9. And let's continue now. Okay, look where the 6 goes in box 2. Only one cell left, that's a 6, and that forces 6 in box 8, that's a 6, and becomes a blue, and this has to be red and becomes a 2. So this can be completed. So that's a 7, that's an 8, that's a 7, that's okay, this is 9, this has to be 7, then this has to be 8, this would be 9. What a gorgeous Sudoku, guys. Really a fun Sudoku variant, just the exact difficulty level I was looking at. Excellent Sudoku, really enjoyable. So 7, it has something in it for even the solvers who are new and for experienced solvers as well. Such a fun Sudoku. And that's a 9, that's 8. Column, this can be completed, column 2, so that's 7, and you have 8 9 in here. So this is red, right? So it's 1 or 2. Okay, where does the 6 go in row 6? So this would be 6 and becomes blue, and these would be 1 and 3, 1 and 3, they must be red. And now where does the 4 go in this box? Only one cell left, 4 has to be here, 4 is already in row 5, so that's a blue, and that's yellow, so that's 7 and 9. Fantastic, guys, perfect Sudoku variant. And you have 1 and 1 in these 2 cells. So in row 4 I need 1 3 and 9, and 9 cannot be in this cell because of 3 yellows already here, so 9 has to go here. This must be 1 or a 3, and that 9 resolves this one, that's 8, that's 9, that's 8, that's 9, that's 8, that's a 7, that's a 9. This column can be completed. This must be 1 7, and 7 is already here, so that's a 7, that's a 1, that gives a 2, and let's make them, give them colors. So this will be 5 8, and you have 8 here, so that's an 8, and that's a 5. That is an yellow, and that is a blue. This is a red, so this would be a 5, making it a blue. Okay, 7 here, so this will be 3, so that would be 3, that would be 1, that would be 1, and that finishes off this wonderful Sudoku by Bellsita. What a fantastic creation. The start was making use of colors to establish that box 7 must be 1 or 4 in row 8 column 2, and then we did something along rows 2 and 3, I think, right, in box 3, and that really helped us proceed in the Sudoku. A fantastic creation by Nautilus, by Bellsita, I'm sorry. We once again thank the author for giving us the permission to make a video on the Sudoku. I really enjoyed solving this. Hope you enjoyed too. Please like and comment under the video. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.